Hi class, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to find values between rational numbers. So for our first example, we're asked to find two rational numbers between each pair of numbers that we're given. And we can use the number line below to help us. So for my first example here, I have 1/3 and negative 1 and 2/5. So for 1/3, 1/3 between 0 and 1. Here looks like the intervals are going up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1/3 is about 0.3 repeating. So 1/3 would be around there. Okay. And now negative 1 and 2/5. That's just negative 1.4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be negative 1 and 2/5 here. In this case, I want to find two rational numbers that are between these pairs of numbers. So a rational number is just any number that can be expressed as a fraction. So how about I just pick 0, which would just be 0 over 1, because you can, and that would be a fraction now. So I'll just let it be 0. And let's just pick negative 0.8, which can be expressed as a fraction as well. It'd just be negative 8 over 10. So those are two numbers that I can pick. Okay, for B, I have negative 0.3, which would be 1, 2, 3 over here. So I got negative 0.3, and I got 0.6, which is positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0.6. So let's pick two rational numbers that are between them. Why don't we go with 0.1? That looks like a good one. So 0.1 would be a rational number because it can be expressed as 1 over 10, and that's a fraction. And another number could just be negative 0.1. And that's also a rational number because it can be expressed as negative 1 over 10. Okay, now let's go over some more examples. In this example, we're asked to identify three decimal numbers between each pair of rational numbers. So these are my rational numbers here, and I want to identify three decimal numbers between them. So negative 1 over 2 is just negative 0.5, and negative 1 over 4 is just going to be negative 0.25. So three rational numbers that are, or three decimal numbers that are between these two numbers, let's just list them. Between here and here, if I had a number line, negative 0.5, then negative 0.25, I could probably say negative 0.26, negative 0.27, negative 0. Let's go 35. These would be three decimal numbers that I could use, and there's many more I could use as well, but I'll just go with these three here. Okay, for these two numbers here, I have negative 0.26 and then negative 0.25. Notice how negative 0.26 is on this left side here. It's because it's smaller than negative 0.25. Now I can just pick some decimal numbers between them here. So some numbers could be negative 0.251, right? Or negative 0.252, or negative 0.25, let's go 5. And there's more numbers that I can pick as well. Okay, now let's identify a fraction between each pair of rational numbers. So for these fractions here, if you want to list them as fractions, what I would do is this. I would get a common denominator first, so I can times the 3 by 4 on the bottom here. If I do that, I times the top number by 4 as well. I'm going to times the 4 by 3, If I do that, I times the top number here by 3 as well. So this should get me negative 8 over 12. And this now would be negative 9 over 12. So if I want to identify some fractions between each pair of rational numbers here, just a fraction. So I only have to identify one. Well, a number between negative 8 and negative 9 would be negative 8.5, right? So let's go negative 9 over 12, negative 8 over 12. So between them would be negative 8.5 over 12. But recall, guys, for a fraction, we can't have a decimal in a fraction. So to get rid of this decimal, I'm just going to multiply it by a number. In this case, I'm just going to multiply the top number by 2. And if I do that to the top, I do it to the bottom as well. So upon doing that, negative 8.5 times 2 is just going to be negative 17. And 12 times 2 is going to be 24. So a fraction that would work would be negative 17 over 24. You could have also just made these two numbers out of 24 as well. So if you times both top and bottom by 2 here, you could have just gotten negative 16 over 24. And then you would have gotten negative 18 over 24. And then by doing that, you would notice that negative 17 over 24 would be a number that would be between these pair of rational numbers. And now for B, same idea. Let's find a common denominator here. So I'm going to multiply the bottom by 3 and the top by 3. And let's multiply the other fraction, this 3, I'm going to multiply by 2. If I do that, I have to multiply the top by 2 as well. So now I'm going to get 15 over 6 and 14 over 6. So it looks like a number that could work. So I'm going to put 14 over 6 here. And I'm going to put 15 over 6 here because 15 over 6 is bigger than 14 over 6. And a number that could be between these two fractions, a fraction that would work, could be 14.5 out of 6, but we've been over this. I can't have a decimal for a fraction, so now I have to multiply the top number by 2. If I do that, I multiply the bottom number by 2. That now gets me 29 divided by 12. So 29 over 12 is my fraction. And again, I could have also alternatively took these numbers, multiplied them by 2 a lot earlier. So that would have gotten me 30 over 12 and 28 over 12. And then upon doing so, it would be very obvious to know that between these two numbers, 29 over 12 would be between them.